beautiful souls, welcome to another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. Technically this video is going to be posted on Tuesday, so it's a part of Tea Time Tuesday. These past 2 days that I've been here filming readings and videos, I have been off, so I'm not sure how the dynamic of uploading videos is going to be the next few days. Like, I do normally work pretty late in the afternoon, but we shall see. I do want to continue giving you guys daily videos, but I just really don't know. But this is technically Tea Time Tuesday. I'm just drinking some chai tea with almond and coconut creamer, which I actually like. So yeah, I hope you guys are able to grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or a glass of water and sit down with me and let's do a quick reading. So let's get started. The first deck that I'm going to use is the Spirit Allies deck. Let's see what your Spirit Allies want to say to you. I usually do things in threes, so let's see if we can get 3 ally messages. We also have Aries that came out and Cacao. It's interesting because 3 cards came out on the bottom as well. So these actually might be the only cards I do today. But we'll see. We'll see. So I'm just hearing like to only read the mantras from the book. I'm not going to read the entire passage. But you got Virgo that came out. Aries came out in the reverse, and when I saw that initially, I was thinking that this might be someone who's not taking initiative, as in it might be referring to you or something in your life where movement isn't really happening rapidly. We have Cacao, or Cocoa, but Cacao is how it's spelled. We have Spirit Quartz, Peyote, and Cannabis. Okay? So for Virgo, or actually I opened straight to Cacao. So number 27, Cacao, I am free to enjoy life's luxuries. Okay, so you're being reminded to enjoy the luxuries of life. And even with that, just now when I was meditating, I was really thinking about like almost like the universe asking me, what else do you want, right? Because I've had a massive succession of things come through in my life where it's like a lot of things that I've been desiring for months, all of a sudden in the past few weeks just started happening, pretty much in like the span of 2 weeks. And I did film a video on it called The Universe Gave Me Everything I Wanted and More. If you wanted to listen to that video, you are more than welcome to. But seeing this embracing life's luxuries, the other part of that thought, the second part of that thought was like, I've just received so much and I really want to just enjoy and sit in, like not constantly trying to create more goals or more things to pursue, but just sitting and enjoying the luxuries and the things that have come through for me. Like part of me almost felt like selfish for even thinking about more, right? There's really only one other aspect of my life that feels like I'm missing something, but even then it's not like something I need or that I'm pursuing. It's literally like, universe, you've literally met all my other needs. The only other thing I can think of in my particular situation would be love. So, you know, and it doesn't have to be romantic love, but just, you know, you've already introduced all these new people into my life and friendships and people I can hang out with, and I want more of that. I want more of community. So some of you may be feeling almost guilty for asking the universe for more, or you may not even really be aware of just how much you have right now. And it's a balance, right? It doesn't have to be all of one or all of, you know, the other. You can enjoy life's luxuries and things that you have while still being aware that as much as I'm content and I have gratitude for what I have, there is some more that I want. There's more that I desire, and I'm allowed to want and desire more. Okay. With number 54, Virgo, the universe works with me. So that goes literally in conjunction with Cacao. the universe works with me. So always recognize that you are co-creating with the universe, and recognize that, you know, you are able and you are allowed to be the magician in your life. You're allowed to say to the universe, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. And having the patience, of course, to wait for it and to allow it in, and, you know, being receptive to however the universe wants to bring it into your life. Not having so many strings attached or so many requirements attached to it. Just being receptive to inviting in the right energy, and also making sure that you are a vibrational match to what it is that you are manifesting, what it is you want to bring in. I've asked this question last night into today, this morning, like, universe, what do I need to work within me? What do I need to work on within myself before I can invite love in? Because I think one of my shadows has always been, not always been, but I have a lot of kind of trauma associated with love because of the very vicious words that were spoken to me by my own parents concerning, you know, people who I was telling them liked me and wanted to bring me out on dates. And although I was an adult, you know, they made it very clear that, you know, they believed I was a slut, that I was being like over sexual with this person, like there's no way this person would love me. Basically, as myself, as who I am, they couldn't love me for me. And I realized that those words wounded me a lot deeper than I would have expected or wanted. And I kind of created this defense mechanism subconsciously where I don't allow love in. You know, I'm very aware of flirtations and, you know, energies and vibes, but I like close myself off to it almost immediately before it has a chance to, and for anything to happen. So I like automatically friend zone people who might be interested, because I'm trying to protect myself against kind of those words that were projected on me of like, okay, well, if I allow this person into my life, is it because I'm being over sexual, or is it because they just want to use me for my body? Is it because they actually like me? Like, it's a lot of insecurities for me behind that. So, you know, I was literally like to the universe, I was like, what is it that I have to work on within myself? And of course, like, you can tell that I'm very self-aware of, you know, some of the things that are there for me, but literally nothing came through. Like, yes, I'm aware of these things within me, but it's almost like the universe is like, that doesn't have to even hold you back, right? Like, all you have to do is allow it in. Just like I've manifested my apartment, just like I've manifested my job, I simply have to just kind of sit aside and let it happen and not be on the defensive. And it's almost like, you know, I've always had this mindset that I have to be perfect, or I have to do a lot of inner work and a lot of things and be completely healed before I welcome in a relationship. But it's almost like the universe is showing me right now, like, you have all these amazing things that you've been wanting for months, all the things that you've felt you needed to be stable, you now have them. And someone that I actually thought I liked, I recently saw a picture of them with someone, and I was like, okay, so already that's already a no for me, because they're taken, right? And there was just a sense of peace, because it was like, I don't have to chase after people, even energetically. I wasn't doing it physically, but I don't have to chase after people energetically. Like, look at what I've attracted just by being here, just by remaining, just by allowing, right? By being in that feminine energy. So even with the Aries in reverse, it feels like some of you may feel like being passive or being receptive is a passive energy, and being receptive is something that feels emasculating to you. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a female, like, it doesn't matter about gender, but in terms of energy, if you're someone who always takes a lead, like I have a lot of masculine on my chart, if you're someone who always takes a lead, is always kind of moving forward with aggression, with passion, with, you know, assertiveness, directness, it can feel uncomfortable to be in that energy of just allowing, right? Because it's like, you have to find that balance. And in the past like day, it's just been this reality that, okay, I know what I want concerning love and relationships, but it's not something I have to pursue. It's something that I just have to welcome in. And in the midst of this, it's not even like I have to fix anything about myself. Like I said, I've done a lot of inner work over the past few months. I've been in hermit mode literally the past 6-7 months, and it was all to teach me different lessons, all to, you know, humble me in certain ways and just teach me a lot of things. And I just have to be aware of the fact that I don't have to be perfect, right? Just the fact that I have the self-awareness to know where my triggers and my traumas are is enough. And I don't know why I'm staying so long on this, but someone might have to hear this. Like, you might be trying to manifest something, but in the back of your mind, you're like, I can't fully accept this or receive this because of XYZ, right? Because of past situations or trauma or insecurities. And the universe is trying to tell you that all you need to do is allow it. And I truly believe, because as I've allowed myself to listen to my intuition, as I've allowed myself to listen to the universe, more and more things become revealed to me as they need to, in the time that they need to. So I believe that as long as you are receptive to spirit and receptive to what the universe wants to tell you and what your spirit guides have to show you, and you're willing to work on those things as they come up, then you are on the perfectly right path, right? So I know that for me, if I need to work on anything specifically, the universe will bring it forth when it needs to be worked on. Right? So again, I think a massive even healing aspect for me yesterday was seeing that picture, was just realizing I've been in the chaser energy with someone I don't even think I truly know, and it's something that has been recurring over the past few months. Like, I don't really even know this person, and there's never been this energy of connection. Like, yes, I think they're attractive, but beyond that, they have a great energy, but beyond that, there's nothing else, right? And it's just this awareness, like, I don't chase, I attract. And it's such a simple statement, but it's just like, it was so profound for me specifically, for my energy right now. It's like, okay, I want to manifest love and, well, friendship and then love eventually, but that's all I need to do. That's the only intention I need to have. So for someone here, you might have been trying to bring something in by force or by pursuing it in your own strength, and you kind of just have to back off a little bit and let the universe work and be willing to, one, receive it in the way that the universe wants to bring it into your life, and two, be patient. Be patient, but also, like, recognize that when it does come in, it will be exactly as it needs to. Have you ever noticed that sometimes when you try to force things, when you try to just, like, power through and force things into your life, sometimes you recognize that that's not what you wanted after some time, because you were so focused on one particular detail and one particular thing. I think that a lot of the times when the universe has brought something into my life that was divinely guided, it kind of just hit me. It wasn't something I was looking for. It was just kind of like there. And it was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? So, okay, I'm going to leave it at that. So Spirit Quartz, number 23. I am a creation of universal love. So my eyes just went to the first part of the paragraph. It says, you are being reminded that you are loved and worthy of love. So just the fact that I've been talking about love, I feel guided to talk about love. This is clearly turning into a love reading, but kind of like a self-love reading. So yeah, be reminded that you are worthy of love, that you are loved as well by the universe. And yeah, one of the major healing aspects for me, despite everything I went through with my parents, it's just recognizing that, for one, I separated myself from that. Not everyone will feel guided to do that, but I did separate myself from that energy, because every time I would see them or a text would come through or a phone call, it would trigger me a lot. So it was very unhealthy for me to remain in contact with my parents. Therefore, I went no contact. However, If you don't feel guided to do that in terms of whoever in your life might be toxic, then simply just limiting your exposure to them can help. Or limiting yourself to the things that trigger you or bring up insecurities that you recognize and know aren't yours, and reminding yourself of who you are, reminding yourself that you are loved, reminding yourself that you are confident, reminding yourself that you are powerful, and really thinking upon the times and the situations in which you feel empowered and you feel strong and you feel happy, right? And just recognizing that that is your true self. Something else I feel guided to bring up is that when I was living at home with my parents, like, I would notice the shift in energies in myself. When I was home, I was always quiet, secluded, isolated, and I never wanted to be outside of my room because that was my safe space. Even in that home, that felt very oppressive for me. But when I went to work, when I went to school, I was bubbly. You know, I'm a Leo sun, Leo moon, and that Leo energy would come out so easily. I would always be smiling. I would always be happy and bubbly. But then times when, like, one of my parents or both my parents would come into my workplace, immediately my smile would, like, disappear. Immediately I would almost feel guilty for being happy or being or having fun at work, right? Or talking to my coworkers freely. And just recognizing that the energy that was associated with them was what was stifling me, not myself. Recognizing that who I was in that household was not who I am. And being apart from that, it's really important for me to come to a place where I'm aware of who I am and I recognize what my energy truly is. Even at work the past few days, there was one day in particular where I was just really irritated and frustrated because of a situation that was happening concerning this apartment. There was a lot of delay for like a week, essentially, in a time when I was super anxious and stressed about moving in here and about Teddy being in the car while it was super hot outside. And every other day, of course, I was in my energy of happiness and positivity and radiance. There's just that energy that I carry naturally. I have an inner child's energy that just flows out. And literally on that day specifically, it was like everyone I worked with just could feel that something was off, and everyone was like, "Are you okay? Like, how are you feeling?" And it was like I heard "how are you" so many times that day that I just, like, it irritated me. But like halfway through the day, like, I really just connected with my higher self, and I'm like, how am I feeling? What am I feeling right now? And it was like the word that came through was dysregulated. I feel dysregulated because everything feels out of balance, and that's coming through and affecting my energy. I can't show up in the positivity and the light that I want to or that I usually do because I don't feel aligned. For someone here, that might be a significant message for you. Maybe you aren't fully aligned. It could be your chakras, but there's a part of you that isn't quite tuned in with the rest of what is happening, and you might just feel disconnected in a way that's stifling you, that is preventing you from showing up fully as who you are. Okay, number 33 was peyote. I believe in guidance beyond the material realm. So again, connecting with your higher self, connecting with your guides, whatever deity that you work with or spirit guide that you work with, you know, just connecting and tapping in. Like I was saying, throughout the day, I will connect to my guides. I personally am not someone, I don't know my guides by name. I don't know them by, you know, a certain appearance. Every time I've done those meditations to kind of see your spirit allies, yes, I get visions sometimes that come through of different people, but it's always more about the energy. And so when I personally refer to my spirit guides, I refer to all of them. When I refer to like my spirit guides and my ancestors, I don't connect to them personally as an individual being, but as the all-around energy that is guiding me through this life. And I feel like one of the major things I've learned over the past few months is really just tapping in. And it doesn't have to be some grand gesture, just literally asking questions. And having done that over the past few months, I feel like I've almost trained myself to immediately recognize when an answer is coming through. And a lot of the time, that answer is immediate, right? I'll be like I said, how am I feeling right now? Dysregulated, because sometimes I can't put it into words. Sometimes I can't quite express how I feel. I just feel wrong, you know? And You know, if I need to know something, again, spirit guides, what do I need to work on before I can receive love into my life? It's almost like I'm putting up a mental barrier myself of like thinking, okay, I need to work on things. I need to do this, this, and this before this can come in. And it's like that silence, that like very clear silence and lack of response was the clear indication. It's like you don't need to work on anything before you receive love, and then work on whatever comes up, you know? Okay, so I believe in guidance beyond the material realm. Number 28, cannabis. I honor myself and put my needs first. So all around, this reading really just ended up being a self-love reading, which I love. But I honor myself and I put my needs first. What do you need right now? What do you need right now? What do you need right now? And again, you can ask your guides, you can even pause the video and just ask yourself, ask your higher self, what do I need right now? What do I need to feel connected right now? For me, it was doing my nails. I don't know how I feel about the colors, but I actually added onto my Amazon cart a nail art kit because I want to make this a ritual that I do regularly to do my nails. I feel a lot more confident when I have my nails done. When I have my mascara and stuff on. I don't have it right now because I haven't taken a shower, but even just recognizing like it's okay when what you need is material. It's okay when what you need is surface level. Sometimes it's as simple as like getting something new that makes you feel special, that feels important, right? For me, I'm just gonna show you or explain some of the things that I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks as I get paid and stuff. I'm paying my bills first, but I do want to get a lot of kitchenware and cookware because I love cooking, and you know, I'm eating healthier now, so I want to make sure that I feel I have fun in the kitchen, right? So I have a lot of things that I've added to my cart that I want to buy concerning my kitchen, and I'm so excited about that. But also in terms of jewelry, I'm gonna be switching out all my piercing jewelry and all my jewelry in general to gold. It's not gonna be real gold at first. I would love to invest in like high value gold from the get-go, but at the same time, I don't want to invest all that money just yet. So I'm just going to be getting some simple gold jewelry on Amazon and slowly just replacing all my jewelry. So yeah, and also like I want to introduce more color into my wardrobe eventually. I had a season that was, again, spiritually guided when I was leaving my old apartment to kind of throw out all the color clothes and just wear all black. And you know, for some people that might seem a little strange, but it was guided. It was like suddenly having color felt wrong, and I know black is very protective color, and it literally, I think I needed that in last year in a whole. So I just had all black for everything, and now I have more like neutrals in total, but I don't have like bright colors. So that is something else I want to be introducing into my reality. And again, notice how all those things are just surface level things, but there are things that are quite literally going to be changing my look, changing how people view me and how I view myself, right? Also embracing more health, not only in how I'm eating. I'm very active at work. I've noticed that, and I was very intentional with my body. I told my body, I want to lose some weight, and I've already kind of seen some of the effects of that, which I'm grateful for. And even being more active, like I'll be walking and riding a bike to work. I'm going to be getting a bike this week. Like all these little things where I'm just introducing the change that I want in my life. That is a way that I'm being kind of active, right? Those are the things where I'm being active. But let's talk about butterfly effect, right? There are some things where you're being active and the universe will match that energy and attract things to you according to that energy. So I would argue that because I was looking for a job, you know, it allowed for I was actively looking for a job. I was able to get a call, an email from the job that I wanted specifically in that same time frame. I told the universe I wanted an apartment, I wanted a home, I really just wanted Teddy to be okay. And in that vibration, the universe showed me an opportunity that wasn't even likely, shouldn't have even worked out, but it even brought an even better opportunity. But I needed to connect with one specific person for this to happen. But it was all in that time frame where I was already actively looking for places, asking around. And something else I want to note, I know it might sound like I'm rambling, but something I want to note is that there have been many times throughout the past month where I've received specific instruction about asking specific people about things, about opportunities, about whatever. And that those specific people weren't able to help me. They were like, they gave me advice, they gave me things, but my blessing didn't come through those specific people. I feel like the need to say this. And for me at the time, it was like, okay, well, universe, what's the point of me asking this person or asking this, like saying this to this person? Why do I need to do that if they're not the one to help me? But there are some things or some energies where connecting to them acts as a catalyst, or the things that they say or the things that happens, it acts as a catalyst for other things to happen, if that makes sense. So it could be like behind the scenes, this person is talking to another person who talks to another person and something else comes through, but it's also about just kind of like, I don't know, I'm seeing it almost like expanding the vibration. Like, I believe that obedience to your intuition really acts as kind of a magnifier to what you're trying to manifest or what you're trying to bring in. This isn't something I've researched, but like, just as you know that free will is a thing, and there are going to be times where the universe or your spirit guides might guide you to do something and you might not do it. But what are the consequences of you not doing that? So you may not, like, out of fear, you may resist, or you may say, no, I don't feel like it, or whatever. And as a result, the consequence of that is that something or someone doesn't come into your life as they should have because you said no. And it's not necessarily that it's like a punishment or anything, but it's like the vibration of operating out of fear, the vibration of operating out of doubt, the vibration of operating out of, suspicion to your guides and your intuition and all that. It knocks you out of alignment to what you were originally supposed to receive. But when you act in obedience, when you do it despite of the fear, or in spite of the fear, or in spite of the doubt, then you're putting yourself in a vibration of faith, and that allows you to align into the thing that you want to receive as well. I'm not going to be one of those people that says like, look, you can't manifest in low vibration, but there are, I think, certain things that kind of allow for things to come in a lot more easily. So for me, I will always say that, when you allow yourself to feel, that is an amazing way to transmute energy. So, for example, a few months ago, I truly believed that I wanted a van. Specifically, I needed a van, right? Like, I was already feeling imbalanced in my root chakra, and I wanted to get a van. And I applied for this van giveaway, and it just felt right. I felt like I was seeing all these synchronicities, and I just felt like it was in an alignment. And then when the announcement was given and it was like, okay, I didn't win this, I felt so angry, so frustrated, so like distrustful of the universe. I was literally like, fuck you, universe. And you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to be upset with the universe. You're allowed to be upset that things aren't happening the way you want them, or you think you want them. And for like a solid 3-4 days, and I literally told my friend, I was like, I have to feel through this. Like, I don't feel good right now, and I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, I'm going to kind of just distract myself from life, read a book, and let the energy flow as it needs to, but I'm going to feel it. And for like 1, 2, 3 days, I was just pretty upset. I didn't want to do any spiritual practices. I didn't want to connect with my spirit guides. I didn't even want to touch my tarot cards. I was like, I can't right now. And after that, I began to feel a lot better. And I just allowed that energy to flow as it needed to. And eventually, at the end of my little dark night of the soul, the universe reminded me, rather gently, I would say, of something I had said a few weeks prior to this whole van announcement. And I said, universe, I don't want, it doesn't even have to be this giveaway. It doesn't have to be whatever this is. Like, be as creative as you need to be in my life to bring blessings in. But I know what I need, but I need, like, you can be as creative as you want to bring that into my life. And literally, as when I was reminded of that, it was like, I was kind of like humbled. I was like, okay, universe, I stand by what I said. Be as creative as you need to. And literally, within the next month is when all these things started happening in my life. All these manifestations started coming through very creatively, might I add. Again, getting a job I didn't officially apply to in this cycle. I applied to it months ago, and they emailed me like months later, right? With this apartment. It wasn't even an apartment that I came to look at, but it was the person that I connected with, the realtor that I connected with, who was able to find me here and talk to her friend who owns it and get me an amazing blessing of being able to pay a lot less than even the first apartment I went to look at, right? So all these things allow the universe to flow in your life. Allow the universe, that is the key word here, allow. I don't know why it looks so dark on camera. It's kind of bothering me. I'm like, it looks like such a shadow. I don't like it. But allow. Enjoy the luxuries and the things that you have right now, and you're allowed to want more and desire more, and allow the universe to move as it needs to on your behalf for your good, and trust that it's for your good. I said in my last video that there were definitely times when I was in those situations that were difficult, where it was like the things that, again, I thought I wanted weren't working out, and it was very frustrating. And in that moment, in that place, it's like so easy to be upset and so easy to kind of like really not want to trust the universe and like be like, why not, and that analogy of like delay is not denial, or the fact that the universe might be saying not yet. In my case, over the past few months, my desires and my wants have shifted so much because of things going wrong, because of things like thinking I want one thing. For example, thinking that, okay, I'm gonna be in my car, live in my car a lot more, and all I need a lot longer, and all I need to do is just get rid of some stuff and move things around and make it more comfortable every few months, and I'll be okay. Kept doing that, but my car kept having troubles. Engine problems would come up literally in the times when I would kind of like be settling into it and be like, okay, I finally feel like I'm good, I'm fresh, like I'm kind of like tricking myself into thinking and believing that I'm actually okay with this when I'm not. And immediately something bad would happen, and it's just like, okay, I don't want this. And even with the van, wanting a van, okay, I really want a van, and I would have so much turmoil that came up, like, do I really want a van? It would really just be a bigger car on wheels, and then like tricking myself into thinking that's what I wanted, like, oh, I'll just travel and drive around all the time, it's gonna be more expensive on gas, oh, that's fine, I'm already not making enough money through Instacart, I'm not gonna be able to do Instacart. Like, it's like it's like my spirit guides were giving me all the things, like, hey, you really don't want this, and I was like still trying to convince myself. And again, then something would happen, like I don't get the van in the giveaway like I thought I would, and it would just be like, oh, this sucks, I hate it. And then it was just like, okay, maybe I want a room. You know what, I actually want a room. I want something with a solid 4 walls and a floor. And then that would shift my vibration kind of more towards this, and then looking for roommates, looking for rooms on Facebook Marketplace, and then it would be like these weird costs, or these weird like for the roommates it would be like, oh no, you can't, like, I already have a cat, so you can't have a cat, and then it would be like, oh my god. Or looking at places on Facebook Marketplace, and it would just be these weird like requirements, or just like it's people who are listing these places, but it would just be like immediate no. And then one particular person I latched onto because it was like, okay, I'm telling you my situation, you know how important this is to me. And she was like, oh, I'm gonna have a room for you next month. And I'm holding on to that, asking her every few weeks. And then she's like, no, you should really get a plan B. And I was like, that was a catalyst, because it was like, you know what, let me just start looking at apartments. I shouldn't be able to afford one, but let me at least look, right? And that was what triggered me and led me into the right direction of basically here. So don't underestimate the power of those little yeses that you give the universe. Don't underestimate the power of, you know, obeying even when it doesn't lead you where you think you're going to be or where you should be, right? Yeah, it's quite literally like a butterfly effect, kind of. So we have 13 that came out, efforts, but I'm hearing like not putting in so much effort, not trying so much, not trying so hard, you know, like you're only tiring yourself out. And I will just say, I listened to a video about etheric wings earlier that was in my watch later playlist for like months, and as I'm speaking, I just feel this pain on the right side of my back, like literally on the right side of my spine, like in a muscle. And I'm not saying it's etheric wings, but some of you might be going through an upgrade right now. You might be going through a spiritual upgrade that is quite literally transforming your spiritual body. And that's also why, if you're experiencing like tiredness or pain, that could be what's happening, like unexplainable. Like if you just went for like a 50-mile run, that's probably why you're in pain. But if it's like out of the blue, like not quite right, like for me, I tend to sit upright. I think I don't really have terrible posture, but like the way that the pain is just like shooting like randomly since I started this just feels significant. So yeah, don't put in as much efforts. Relax, let go, release. I think one of the most important things the universe has been repeating to me a lot of the times, and I'll, you know, when I get really attached to something, I'll literally just hear like, release it. What's it called? The word that people use, it starts with a D. Not decentering, but yes, decentering, but like, I can't think of the word, but like release it, you know, release it. Your personal growth that came out as well. Some of you might need to focus on yourself first before bringing some, not before, but while manifesting something in, while bringing something in. Or maybe you need to acknowledge your personal growth, acknowledge how far you've come as a person, how much you've grown in the past few weeks, months, years. You know, you really have to celebrate yourself and recognize like just how far you've come. I think we get so blindsided by goals and by, you know, checkpoints that we set in for ourselves that we forget to just like look back and be like, damn, look how far I came, you know? We have moderation that came out. Moderation. You don't have to do so much. And then we have individuality. Some of you may need to focus a little bit on yourself and learn more about who you are. I would say that a lot of what has allowed me to grow, personal growth, is that I allow myself to be fluid. I allow myself to be open to new things and different ideas, different perspectives. I allow my wants and my desires to shift and to change. You know, I don't, I won't, like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing because everyone has different personality traits, but I am really not someone to set goals anymore. I used to be that person. I would like have lists of goals, and you know, when I was in college, it was very easy to kind of be like, okay, I have this, and this, I need to do this. Like there are things where if I'm working towards something, I will create a checklist or I will create like a list of steps, but I don't create like these large arbitrary goals anymore. For me in the past few months, the biggest thing for me was I wanted a place to stay. I wanted a home. Home was like the word for the first 6 months of this year. Home. And now I finally have achieved home at the 6 month mark. and now it feels like it's shifting into love. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if the second half of this year is focused on relationships and friendships. But allow yourself to be open to new things, to different things, to things outside of your expectation. Some of you, the reason that you may not be bringing in or manifesting something into your life is because you're holding on to it too strongly. Because you might think that you want this thing specifically, or this person, or whatever, and the universe has someone better for you, or the universe is saying not yet. And the not yet might be coming from a place of, we need to bring you through certain things to grow your character, to change your character, to change your perspective. I really allowed myself to be in this state, this awareness that the things that happen in my life happen for a reason. And again, in the moment, it may not feel good whatsoever, but I look back a lot of the time and things will come up for me very specifically at times where it's like, remember this, and it's like, damn, I used to be like that, or I used to do that, and now I'm here. Something very quickly, I think one of the first things I manifested was eating all organic food. So something I've been speaking about a few times with my friend Paige was like how I really wanted to start eating more organic food, but it just felt like something that was inaccessible to me, even though I literally work at an organic store. But once I got that job, subconsciously, because I already worked there, I was shopping there for food, so I started just buying different stuff. And it took me about a week a week into the job where I realized, like, I'm eating an apple or whatever, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm eating organic food. Like, it wasn't even something I realized that I had already manifested, but I did. So some of you might just need to stop for a second and really look at your life and be like, what have I manifested? Like, what have I at one point maybe fixated so much on, or created a vision board on, or whatever, and now it's already a part of my life? Like, some of you need to celebrate that. Or if it's something negative that came into your life, be like, how do I change my vibration or my energy so that I don't attract this again? Or what do I need to work on or focus on differently that will bring something else into my life, right? So I'm gonna end the video here. I didn't mean for it to go on so long, but I do hope it was able to help someone here. Literally during my meditation, I was like, higher self, universe, just use me as a vessel, you know, help me to channel through what needs to come through. And I think that was exactly what came through. So I hope it helps. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.